each and every person sitting in this hall today to become a dreamer today. I'll start with my talk with a little story. There was a kid who made a drawing and came rushing towards his mother to show the drawing. Hey mom, please look at my drawing. The drawing had a blue duck drawn in it. The mother saw the drawing and she yelled at the son, have you ever seen a blue duck? Why have you colored it blue? Ducks are not blue, they are white in color. Don't you remember? We saw the duck in the zoo. Go take it back. This was your homework assignment and redraw it. And the child, who was anticipating some sort of appreciation from his mother for the creativity, was disappointed. His head went down and he came back to his room. His creativity was thrashed at that very moment. When I was in kindergarten standard 2, I usually write with my left hand. One of the teachers forced me to use my right hand to draw and to color. She was holding my hand and telling me, Mohsin, right hand ko use karo. And I was obviously unable to do it. I felt pain in my hand. I came back home, I was crying. I complained to my mom, that teacher is not good. She forced me to use my right hand, but I am a left-hander. And just like any other typical Pakistani mom, my mother got emotional and furious. Next day, she went to the school and scolded the teacher, don't you ever do that to my son ever again. Now just imagine, an academic system which cannot assess a very basic difference that is very apparent, that some people write with the right hand, some people write with the left hand, how that system will assess the differences that lie within ourselves. Because each person is different. No two brains in the world are same. Each thumb impression is different. Every one of you is gifted with unique talents and ability, and we cannot, हर एक को एक तरीके से नहीं चला सकते आप. Einstein said that imagination is more important than knowledge. क्योंकि knowledge की boundaries हैं, but imagination has no boundaries at all. Whatever you can imagine, you can achieve it. But the problem here is that each and everything has transformed. The cars that we use now are totally different what we had 100 years back. The telecommunication system, the Skype, the Facebook, the mobiles that we have now have totally evolved in the last 20 to 30 years. But unfortunately, there is one single thing that hasn't changed over the period of time, and that is our schooling system. The academic system is still the assembly line system that you come with uniforms, and unfortunately Syed has uniforms, so I have a point to make. You come in uniforms, you sit, you have to raise your hand to ask a question, you cannot talk to anyone else, you will get specific breaks, you cannot do anything without permissions, you have to memorize, you will be checked on your memory. This system was applicable up to the era of industrialization, mass production, where you needed workers to stand or sit straight, focus on the product, make the product one by one. They do not need to raise their heads or ask any questions. That system was applicable up to that time. But as Wali Sahab explained, now today we are in the world of technological era. We are talking about knowledge economies today. We cannot create the workforce for the future by using the obsolete tools and techniques of the past. We need to reform, we need to change. Henry Ford, the famous car manufacturer, said that if I had asked the people of my time, they would have asked for faster horses. But what they actually wanted was a fast car. So I gave them a car. He was a dreamer. He was an influencer. He was able to paint a picture of the future that the people of his time were unable to imagine. That is the difference, ladies and gentlemen, between a dreamer and a non-dreamer. And my purpose is to make people dreamers and march them towards their goals and objectives. So what happens is that society, our academic system, kills and stops our imagination and dreaming ability. Just I gave the example of blue duck. Still, if you are lucky enough, you dream, you imagine, then the another threat that you face is of dream killers. The one thing in the entire universe that has killed more dreams than any other thing is a single sentence. लोग क्या कहेंगे? Clapping. लोग क्या कहेंगे? What will people say? What will people think if you try to break the barriers, if you try to break the conformity, if you try to challenge the status quo, if you try to break the mediocrity circle? लोग क्या कहेंगे? What will people think? Unfortunately, we take our decisions to please people, to conform with the society, instead of taking our decisions on our dreams, on our beliefs, on our abilities. What happens is sometimes our parents, unfortunately, or our relatives, they hand over some leftover dreams that they were unable to complete. We are forced with some dreams जो हमारे अपने नहीं होते. I couldn't become a doctor, I want you to become a doctor. You will be the first engineer in our family. I don't want to be an engineer. Sometimes they condition us that if you dream, you will become a weak person. Because if you dream and your dreams are not fulfilled, you will become a failure. You will be a miserable person. And this logic is not true. Because even if you fail, you will learn something. You will become a better person. You will learn from your experiences. And this logic, ये बिल्कुल ऐसे ही है कि मैं ये खाना नहीं खाऊंगा, हो सकता है मेरा पेट खराब हो जाए. मैं इस यूनिवर्सिटी के एंट्री टेस्ट में दाखिला नहीं लूंगा, हो सकता है मैं पास ना हूँ. I won't participate in this race. What if I don't come first? Don't dream because you will fail. This is equivalent to that. Edison said that I have not failed 1000 times. I have discovered 1000 times by which a bulb cannot be made. This is what the power of failure is, that it teaches you. And the excellent people, mindful people learn from their failures. Moving forward, for me, dreams help us in realizing our true potential. For me, success is where do you stand right now? What is your current reality towards your ultimate potential? This journey from your current reality, where you are, what you do, to your ultimate potential, what you are capable of, what you can go up to. This is the journey of success. And you won't be able to follow this journey of success unless you discover your own self. You discover your own dreams. You know what you are capable of. You remove the blockages of the society and the academic system and starts thinking. Because today is the time of innovation and system design. We need designers, we need thinkers, we need dreamers, we need innovators. Your mind and your soul is a beautiful canvas. I would request you to color it with beautiful dreams and become a dreamer today. Since the world has come into inception, around 107 billion people have lived in this world and they have died away. 107 billion. And if you ask me to name some famous known people of all times, I won't be able to name more than 1000 or 1500 people, obviously without the help of Google. Even if I include all the politicians, all the artists, all the religious personalities. Why? Because we only remember the game changers, the dreamers, the influencers who created a dent in the history. All the other people just came into this world, passed their life on day-to-day survival mode, बस इतना कर लो कि गुजारा हो जाए, and they went off without a trace. And even the people whom they lived with do not recall them. So you need to become a dreamer. And dreamers such as Abdul Sattar Eidi, he had a dream for this country. He had a dream to open Eidi Center in all the districts, all the cities of Pakistan. And he created the largest ambulance network, the best social welfare organization of Pakistan, even without the support of his own community, because he had a dream. And based on that dream, he created a vision. And that vision is still alive even after his departure from this world. This is the power of a dream and a vision that you make based on those dreams, those powerful dreams. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, he had a dream, Qaid-e-Azam, to have a separate homeland for us that we are now ruining. That's another thing. That dream created a vision for which whole nation stood by him. We gave sacrifices. We lost millions of lives for that vision. That is the power of a dream and a vision. Nelson Mandela, 27 years in imprisonment for his nation. And that is the power of a strong dream and a strong vision based on that dream. Can you tell me what is the difference between these two trees? I ask this question to a lot of people, almost in all my sessions. They fail to recognize any difference. And even if you try to make out any difference, ye patta zyada hara hai, wo kam hara hai, that's all in your mind, doesn't exist in the diagram. But there is a very important difference that is present in those two trees. And let me show you, then you will realize what is the difference. This is the difference. One tree has stronger, larger and deeper roots. And you know what these roots represents? These are our dreams. These are the vision, the picture of the future that we want to see, what we paint, and the missions that we set for our dreams. Just as I gave examples of Jinnah, Gandhi, Idi, Mandela, these people had strong dreams, strong roots. If a building has a strong foundation, it will withstand the earthquake. Similarly, if a very rough wind blows, this tree has least chances of survival. It will blow away, but it will stay due to its long roots. The metaphor I'm using here to try to make you understand is that if you have strong dreams, strong connections with your own dreams, and you have a vision based on your dreams, you will be a much stronger person. You won't get distracted. Dream killers won't be able to distract you. They कुछ भी वो आपको कहें, तुमने शक्ल देखी है, तुम ये करोगे, लोग क्या कहेंगे, XYZ, you will stay strong because you have strong roots, strong dreams, and you won't be able to get distracted by anything that comes onto your way. And I have researched that all the dreams, because I do this exercise with people, that's a long-term exercise, not a one-time exercise. Majority of the dreams lie in these 10 areas. Primarily, these are just 3 areas. The dreams that are for your own self, the dreams that are for others, your family, friends, relative, etc. and the dreams for the society, for the world. For example, if I want to go on Hajj and Umrah with my family, it will fall in spiritual, religious. For example, as my social welfare organization is Share Your Blessings, I wanted to open an organization like that. That dream was part of the society. If you want to do something after the retirement, it will fall in retirement. What you do is, you write down all your dreams. Be it as small as that I want to travel international. Many people haven't experienced air travel. Anything, you want to write a book, you want to get an A, you write all those dreams, and this is an iterative activity. You will write some dreams, you will cut off them, again write them, and then you see where are your dreams following up, where are they populating. You prioritize your dreams, you see that which dreams are more important, which are the dreams that you cannot live away. Are they for your family, for the society, for your own self, for education? This is a very important exercise. And then, based on all the dreams, you will see where is your life heading. Are you too much materialistic? Are you too much religious? Are your dreams for the society? You will discover your own self. And based on those dreams, you funnel down and you come to the vision of your life. You make a vision for your life that I want to do this. For example, I want to, win World Cup for my country. I want to open Shaukat Khana. I want to become Prime Minister. Not getting political, just giving you an example. Based on your dreams, you create a vision. And for that vision, you create separate missions. That how I will reach up to that dream. And that is how a vision for your life is created based on the dreams that you see. And this is very important. If you don't want to live a life of mediocrity, that 9 to 5 circle, you will have to start dreaming right now from this moment. And mind you, I'm not talking about daydreaming. I'm not talking about daydreaming at all. Because a dream without a plan is just a wish. I'm not asking you to make a wish list. I want you to have dreams, solid dreams with conviction. I want to do this. I want to have this final year project sponsored by this organization. I want to do TEDx every year from Sir Syed University. I want to get job in that university. You know, big dreams and have conviction on your dreams. I ask students, what is your dream? मैं फलानी जगह नौकरी करना चाहता हूँ. This is not a way to tell your dream. No one will get impressed. What if you get 2 minutes to give your startup pitch in front of investors? Your dream should be very convincing, and yourself should be very convinced on that dream. So mind you, it's not about daydreaming. Have dreams, big dreams, and then become a doer of your dreams. Make executable strategies for converting your dreams into realities through the process of dreaming, vision, and then separate missions. And mind you, do not have short-sighted vision. I just want to become an engineer. Becoming an engineer is just one step of the whole vision or the dream. Becoming an engineer or getting a job or opening up a business will get you many opportunities. You need to see the bigger picture. You don't need to get short-sighted that dreams are or vision are only for 4 years, 5 years. You need to plan. You need to plan big. As Wali Sahab told, 2050, where do you see yourself in 2050? This is the question that you need to ask. In the changing scenarios, in the changing economies, in the changing Pakistan, how will you react? How will you cope up? Because this is not the time when interviewers say, please come have a seat. They say, please make a seat and then sit on it. Which means that you will have to create your own market. You will have to create your own job market. So times are changing and we need innovative minds. And again, एक और चीज़ जो गलतफहमी लोगों को होती है कि ड्रीम्स एंड विजन आर फॉर पीपल्स लाइक गांधी, अब्दुल सत्तार, ईथी. नो, एवरीवन हैज़ टू हैव अ विजन फॉर हिज लाइफ. जितनी ज़िंदगी लिखी गई है सबने पूरी करके जानी है. उसको कैसे गुजारना है, कैसे प्लान करना है, क्या तुम्हारे ड्रीम्स हैं, वो तुम्हारे हाथ में है. Moving forward, and I strongly believe that you need to have a very strong communication circle, social circle with you. Do not hang out with losers. Hang out with winners, dreamers that motivate you, that push you, that tell you, wow यार करते हैं, ये वाला प्रोजेक्ट करते हैं, ये वाली कोडिंग करते हैं, ये फ्रीलांसिंग पे काम करते हैं. Hang out with the winners and the dreamers that push you, ताकि तुम कुछ ज़बरदस्त करके दिखाओ. And I strongly believe in law of attraction that positive dreams, positive experiences will yield positive results into your life. And I've seen all this throughout my life. When I was in Sir Syed, I faced the time जब मेरे पास फीस के पैसे नहीं थे. मैं स्लीपर्स पहन के सेमेस्टर में गया because मेरे जूते they were torn off and I had no money to buy new shoes. I have went through all these phases that I'm telling you. It's not just some happy-go-lucky thing. My first mobile was given by my brother-in-law. But before graduating, even before convocation, I had job letter in my hand because I had a dream. My father passed away when I was 4 years old. I generally do not tell you such kind of personal stories, but just to make you believe what I'm saying, because I have gone through each and every process. It's just the dreams that I had in my mind kept me going and going. And still I have dreams that I want to pursue and fulfill. And the last thing is that I'm telling you to have dreams in your life. I was failed in an RJ audition. I went to a radio station and I was unable to speak. I was bubbling on the mic. And the feedback I got there, you are pathetic, you cannot speak. And today I have done public speaking in front of thousands of people, enormous people. I have changed their lives in some manner. This is what the power of your dream is if you have solid conviction on your dreams. So start dreaming and turn around your life. Ending my talk with the quote of Eleanor Roosevelt that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. So start dreaming, ladies and gentlemen, and put a future in front of yourself that will, जो सबके होश उड़ा दे. Because if you want to discover your edge, the first thing you need to discover is your dreams. Thank you. This was Syed Mohsin signing off.